Sending little boys up chimneys was actually made illegal in 1840. 24 years later, the Act had to be strengthened because people just ignored it. Why? Why didn't they just shove big brushes up?
And there were lots of very poor children around who'd got stunted growth from bad nutrition, and they were very, very slim, and they were very, very agile and could handle a little brush like that superbly for sweeping down the soot.
Right, you scruffy little urchin, get up that chimney. How much did they pay these kids?
Well, they didn't pay them anything at all, actually. Kids of about 6 and 7, often orphans or kids looked after by the parish, they'd apprentice them to a master sweep. And the idea was the master sweep would care for them, feed them, clothe them, give them a living, until such time as they were too big to go up the chimney. The only problem is, of course, the master sweeps were out to make as much money as they could themselves.
When my mother died, I was very young, and my father saw me while yet my tongue could scarcely cry, weep, 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 weep. So your chimneys I sweep, and in soot I sleep. There's little Tom Digger, who could ride when his head that curled like a lamb's back was shaved. So I said, hush Tom, never mind it, for when your head's bare, you know that the soot cannot spoil your white hair. And so he was quiet, and that very night, as Tom was a-sleeping, he had such a sight that thousands of sweepers, Dick, Joe, Ned, and Jack, were all of them locked up in coffins of black. And by came an angel who had a bright key, and he opened the coffins and set them all free. Then down a green plain leaping, laughing they run, and wash in a river and shine in the sun.
And they needed somebody to do the dirty work. So they created a caste called the Untouchables. And it's their born birthright and duty to clean the shit of other people. They become the scab labor, like this boy. This boy's father works for 40 rupees a day. He has 5 children. He sold this boy when he was 9 years old. We managed to get him back. He sold him because he couldn't feed the others.
Raise money.
They have been given the worst jobs: grave diggers, toilet cleaners, discarders of human and animal wastes, and slave workers on the lands of the rich. Children are taken as a payment for debt.
And naked and wine, all their bags left behind, they rise upon clouds and sport in the wind. And the angel told Tom if he'd be a good boy, he'd have God for his father and never want joy. And so Tom awoke, and we rose in the dark, and got with our bags and brushes to work. Though the morning was cold, Tom was happy and warm. So if all do their duty, they need not fear harm. A little black thing in the snow, crying weep, weep, in the notes of woe. Where are thy father and mother? Say, they have both gone up to the church to pray. Because I was happy upon the heath, and smiled amongst the winter snow. They clothed me in the clothes of death,